Hey, everybody. Welcome to day 8 of our September intensive. So I'm going to start off with something I've never tried before, but it'll be in English, so you won't need any translators. So allow yourself to go right away to a resting position.
Actually, Joel, give me 30 seconds. I'm really sorry.
Okay, go ahead. Just for that. You can have a drink.
All righty.
No worries. So go get comfortable. Close your eyes if you will. But usually when we start these, I ask you to go to the knowing of yourself as the unlimited presence of awareness. But today, I don't want you to do that. I want you to do just the opposite for the start. I want you to locate yourself inside your body. Feel that you exist within the confines of your body. Maybe you're filling the entire inside with your being, but it's within your physical shell. And we're going to try this little exercise 3 times. So the first iteration, I'm going to start by asking you to bring your attention to your knees. You feel from the inside, feel your knees, have your knees be fully what you're aware of right now. Fully feel the sensation of those knees. Be like you're fully bathing your knees in your awareness from the inside. And keeping your attention fixed on your knees, not breaking that attention. Feel this sense of awareness of your knees starting to expand beyond the borders of your physical body, beyond the layers of your skin, maybe rushing out of your pores. But the awareness is still on your knees, including your knees, even though awareness is expanding beyond the limits of your body. So not losing the sense of your knees, awareness is just expanding and expanding in all directions. So that you have both the sense of the feeling of your knees, at the same time an openness to all other experience, all other sights and sounds and smells. Awareness expanding like the limitless sky, yet still aware of your knees. And just let it expand in all directions. and then be with it. Be limitless awareness that includes the awareness of your physical body part known as your knees. Now slowly contract that awareness again. Contract it steadily and slowly back into your body. Back through all the other layers of objects and other content of your experience, back into the body. And you come back into the body, just have your awareness be within the confines of your body again. Now, this time I want you to shift awareness from your knees to the place where it feels like your brain is located. Place your attention on the space where your brain seems to be.
Okay, I found this on the web for tension on the space where your brain seems to. Check it out.
I'm going to have to charge her for being part of our seminar. Yeah, with your still located in the body, but place your attention where your brain seems to be. Allow your attention to be fully on that place where the brain is. Now, once again, allow awareness to seep beyond the borders of your body, but without losing the attention that's placed on the area of your brain. Allow your awareness to contain your brain as it expands in every direction. Expansive, limitless sky, aware of everything, including the attention that's never left the area where your brain seems to be. And just be the limitless sky of awareness in which your brain and the physical location of it seems to be. And now slowly but steadily allow awareness to contract again, from being open and limitless, back and back and back into the confines of the body. And let awareness rest once again inside the container of your body. And now we'll try this one final time, but redirect your attention from the area where your brain is to the area in the chest where your heart is felt to be. So from inside your body, place your attention on your heart. Bathe your heart in the awareness that seems to be contained within the confines of your body. And now once again, expand the awareness beyond the physical limits of your body without taking your attention off the area where your heart is. Expand and expand awareness, all the while having your attention on your heart. Now from this ever expanding awareness, with attention on your heart, also let in awareness of your brain and your knees and all the rest of your body. Know the entirety of this body within your ever expanding awareness. And just rest in the peace of the ever expanding awareness, in which your body and all the other content of your experience is known. And so without losing touch with the piece of your ever expanding, ever expanded awareness, allow yourself to come slowly back to our discussion. Any new realizations occur to you, or any puzzlements, or
Sorry, what did you ask?
just curious if any new realizations occurred, or anything puzzling, or any observations at all?
Of course, yes, yes. Observation, I think when we went to the mind first, you know, it's located where it is located, and then trying to expand it out. And I kept seeing this shadow, you know, of the mind that was left. It was just left in the presence of awareness, you know, expanding out. I could see the shadow of it. So, and it remained. So I just kind of just went with it. That's all I was seeing, because, but I seemed to, with the knees, that was interesting, but I was doing some yoga knee exercises to strengthen that this morning. So it was more of a radiating energy, you know, the meridians are open, da 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 da. So, but moving on, I think the heart center one was my favorite one, because I could identify with that. I call it like it's not what I call it, but there's this meditation where the compassion is like the oceanic, I think it's supernal. the verbal, the language. So I was identifying with the identity of that there, and then with the infinite harmony and the healing presence of the natural body wanting to just, be natural in that way. And then unconditional love, those were my thoughts, because that's kind of like what I do, but that's kind of a comfortable position to be in for me when I practice awareness like that. So it was more coming from the inside than having to grasp, where's awareness? Where's awareness? It's like that. It was just like that for me. That's all. It was nice though. It was pleasant. It was like I like contacting. I liked using the body in that way too. And that was a great exercise, Joel. Thank you. I liked it.
Thank you. Yeah. Jimmy, anything that you thought or noticed or?
Well, I noticed that when we would direct our attention to a body part and then out beyond the body, it was very easy to do. That there was no issue, right? Like awareness was grand enough to be able to focus on the knees and at the same time be like on the moon, or
Yeah.
that was mainly what was going on for me, just seeing the expansiveness of awareness, and specifically there was no that didn't feel of what you were asking us to do. There didn't feel any limitation going on.
Great. Yeah. So as I was, preparing for what to talk about today, the idea came up to me, like, how do we see another layer of beyond just the physical body? How do we see beyond just this body mind, or that the body mind itself is an appearance within awareness? So the idea of the exercise occurred to me, and then as we were doing it, I had another piece to my own realization about it. Was the very fact that we could do this, that with pretty much ease of going from being in the body to being outside of it, puts the kibosh once and for all on any notion that we are located inside this body. We just easily three times knew ourselves as awareness within which a portion of the body was known. Now, if we did that for those three body parts, knees, brain, and heart, isn't it pretty clear that any other body part we would have picked, we've been able to do the same thing with it? So there's no portion of our body that we exist inside of, rather it exists inside us as awareness. That while the body plays a central role in our experiencing, we are not it. The body itself and all of the components of experience that it goes through is appearing within us awareness, or within us the Buddha nature, within us the shared being of consciousness. And so one of my gentle intentions for that exercise would be to help us, weaken the sense that we toggle back and forth between, oh, but I'm in the body mind, I'm forgetting I'm the presence of awareness, I'm having my daily life as this body mind. And then, oh yeah, now I'm back in the conversation, or now I'm doing an exercise to remember who I am. So the hope for the exercise was to add one more layer of, no, there isn't a toggling back and forth. When I'm in the world, being this body mind, associating with other body minds and circumstances, I'm still always this presence of awareness. It's not an either or, it's a both. And it's always consciousness, but the appearance of the body mind is a come and a go.
What's interesting is you very easily take the leap of like the location of, or not located, like the fact that it's not located in the body. I have no idea where it's located. I don't think I would say it's located. It was or it wasn't. From that exercise, I mean, I was just expansive, could go anywhere it seemed. What does that have to do with where it's located? I'm missing that connection.
If awareness were located anywhere, then it wouldn't be infinite, it would just be limited. It would be an object possessed by something that has awareness.
Or can it be awareness, the infinite awareness located temporarily?
No, because you can't stuff all of infinity into a temporary location. All temporary locations are appearances within awareness, within infinity. This is a big thing. So let's see this. Awareness isn't located temporarily anywhere. Awareness forms temporary formations that you might say are located within it. but like the whirlpools in a river, the whole river or the whole lake or the whole ocean doesn't go into a single whirlpool temporarily. There's just a form within
Right.
the entire of the ocean.
Right. Well, what seems as a separate Jimmy, I think what you're saying is, well, it's not separate from awareness, although there's specific things going on like related to Jimmy
Okay, fair enough.
that aren't necessarily going on in this Janus thing, this Janus whirlpool. And,
Right.
and we're both we're both made of awareness.
As is the space between you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing splitting or dividing or separating anything of awareness from another part of awareness.
So what do you think as we touch our knees, like do touching my knees?
That's what you're saying you're doing. I have no idea what you're touching beneath this my screen.
I am touching my knees.
Okay, I'll take your word for that.
Now I'm touching my arms.
Okay.
But what do you think's going on there?
Well, if I tell you in detail what I think, I run the risk of adding more confusion, but I'll try to tell you anyway. So on your computer screen, as you're looking at this, on the screen level itself, there's pictures of me and Janice. But if you go into the computer, or the hard drive or whatever is, there's just layers and layers of code, numbers and characters or whatever. So the surface interface is these pictures and stuff. But underneath the surface is just a continuum of computer commands on and off, blah, 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 blah. All computer terminology I'm not even qualified to express because I don't know all the vocabulary. So in the same way, you and me, touching your knees and all that stuff is the equivalent of what's going on in the picture of the screen. But in terms of awareness or the mystic law or the Buddha nature itself, there's just all the code that results in the formulation of a Jimmy touching his knees and a Joel doing whatever he's doing and a Janice doing what she's doing. There's an uninterrupted flow of a singular substance formulating as 8 billion human appearances doing whatever it is that they're doing right now. And from each of their individual standpoints, it seems like, oh yeah, I'm this thing unto myself with a life in relation to other people and other circumstances. But all of it is just the outward expression of this singular principle running its codes to formulate as these different things. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, I mean, it's beyond. I mean, I couldn't say whether it's true or not. But it sounds interesting. I mean, basically there's one substance and everything's made of it. And the one substance kind of morphs into many different what would you call that, forms, and acts and has behaviors or movements or whatever. But it's, I think the point you're making, it's, yes, there are, many different forms. You were giving an example of 8 billion humans or body minds.
That, yeah, on that we know of on what appears like this planet. Yeah.
But they're all made of the same stuff.
It's what in the Buddhism that Janice and I care, the truity of all phenomena, meaning everything that there is just a variation of temporary form of this singular principle. And we don't try to know it just for its own sake, but by recognizing this, possibly one of the greatest implications is a tremendous amount of pressure of responsibility for our imagined responsibility to do life correctly falls away. Yes, we still engage in life in the direction of our desires and our goals or whatever we would like to move toward. But now a tremendous amount of feeling like, oh, if I screw this up, I ruined life, or something could be lacking or broken, or something could be missing. No, the more we understand truly who we are, the less inclined we are to try to extract contentment or enhancement or happiness out of the unfolding of our life circumstances. We start to recognize, oh, wait a minute, we are made of the very stuff that is unlimited peace, unlimited happiness, unconditional love. We can never not be that. We can only have various feeling experiences that sometimes cloud over our recognition of that. But it's not possible for us to step away from being that, because we can't not be who we are. So we're getting an ever deeper realization of that, which allows us to live that life amid circumstances and seemingly other people. No longer requiring the world to organize itself to give us more happiness than we have right now. We get to live fully in the world, but not as a victim of or an effect of a separate world that's out of our control. And the only thing that's been propping up that illusion is the fact that we have thought up till now that who we are is this limited thing packed inside a flesh and bone capsule that's expiring. So every gentle seeing through that illusion is doing a tremendous amount of service to us in dissolving the believed in responsibility that we never had in the first place.
I think I've said before, I have a friend who's a plant medicine, basically ayahuasca, kind of facilitator. And
Yeah.
And it seems like, I mean, based on what you just said, the work that he does, mainly he says, once people see, like a lot of times they get this sense of, they're way more than their thoughts and feelings and this and that. And, they get this glimpse of, I guess, kind of what we do, but I'm not sure. They get a glimpse. And once they see that, it's hard to just believe they're this.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I try to, in my mind, think, oh, we're doing something similar. And it's just, you're doing it, you're facilitating people with plant medicine, and I'm doing it. I'm experiencing beyond this body mind a little differently, but it sounds very similar.
Very. It would have to be in a world where everything is undivided. It would ultimately have to be similar if we're looking toward the same thing. There couldn't be a separate realization of infinity from another realization of it in a world that wasn't separated.
Yeah.
I was just hearing somebody talk earlier today. Ram Dass was saying, when it comes to like psychedelics or plant medicine or whatever, he said that they provide an interesting window, but he's not so sure how great a door they provide. I thought that was interesting. And among the many virtues, I guess, of this direct path is that, yeah, we don't need any sort of procedural or substance bridge to a different place in order to know this piece. Sure, there are incredible experiences to be had for certain. Yet we're going to know more and more that what we've been seeking in terms of like a future improvement in our lives or future betterment it's already the stuff of who we are. And it also allows us to let go of the idea of a future as an actual thing.
I'm really appreciative of the way we do it. I can't say that I love taking ayahuasca and throwing up and, all this drama that comes with it. But it's really popular. You would have a long line at your door if, I mean, so many people on this, which is interesting to me, so many people on this planet are doing ayahuasca, and they're basically doing the same thing we're doing, but there's so much drama with it, or so much physical, and
there's physical drama, and then I'm not saying that this is the case of your particular friend who's the guide. Might be our common friend, but there are some guides who view themselves as more special beings who are helping these unenlightened separate beings get to a place. So the ego in the facilitator becomes part of the drama as well. In addition, while the people who are seeking this, by and large, they have the same impulse to most people, that they want to taste a greater sense of peace that's beyond the limits of life as they know it in their circumstances. But the very idea that they've chosen a path, in this case, psychedelics or plant medicine, means that they are envisioning an improved feeling at the end of a procedure. If you sign on to do a plant medicine journey, I'm guessing that most of the time, the person facilitating isn't telling you that already prior to doing the journey, you are whole and complete and need nothing from the journey in order to have a better experience of life. Usually, in most cases, what's baked into the process is, yes, I'm going to facilitate you to point B, and that point B is going to be superior to where you are prior to doing this journey. And that's not just solely for plant medicine or psychedelic journeys. That's for virtually every modality in philosophy and religion.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think that we're going through a learning process, and greater understanding of who we are. And
yes, so yes, and on the surface there is a similarity, but the difference is that while we have to use words to point ourselves, we're pointing ourselves to what is. We're doing our best to point ourselves to what is, rather than to something that, when we know this better, it will be better. It probably pays to remind ourselves from time to time that even if we never discuss this again, there's nothing lacking in what we know now that has us being incomplete in terms of knowing ourself as a presence of awareness, or ourself as the Buddha nature. our activity is just to dispel a cloud that's preventing us to see what's here now. Most other modalities are a step towards something where maybe this realization comes in at the end of that procedure. But it's a subtle, but it's a Grand Canyon of a difference.
Well, I think that as far as the plant medicine, I think if it's the right facilitator, I think they're coming from the same place of you are whole and complete.
Excellent.
You just don't see it. You don't realize it. You're not aware of it. Let's go on a little journey so you can understand who you are. That's what I would think the facilitator would say.
That would be awesome if that's what it is. Even as you say that, I'm thinking like, oh, that would be an interesting thing to experience. Yeah, if that's the understanding of the facilitator, cool. As long, it would be helpful if that facilitator is continually checking in and go, oh well, if that's true, is this the best vehicle for making that happen, or have I? And I'm not saying there's anything nefarious in this, but have I, for my own purposes, narrowed it down to this is the way to get you to see that? And I can only say that because I know that I'm continually reevaluating what it is that I'm sharing with people to see if, like, even something that seemed restful and helpful 2 months ago is still the thing to stick with, or is now time to lance even that happy bubble and get to the meat of what's happening. I can't speak for any other facilitator. I just know that that's a large part of what it is that I have to consider.
Oh, you got 1 minute.
Oh, thanks for letting me know. Yeah, because I have to get on something right at 1 and I need to connect to it. Thank you, guys. I hope that was a fruitful discussion, and certainly we could pick it up tomorrow if any realizations that come from this, anything that's been sparked by this.
Great, thanks.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
Talk to you later.
Bye.